Okay, Jonathan, in the last video we talked about what you can do to generate more power. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about what you can do to create some more consistency at the plate. And it's one thing to have power in your swing, but it's even another thing to be able to consistently hit pitches that are in the strike zone and hit them up the middle and get hits. And I noticed when we were working together last Thursday, one of the problems that you had was consistently hitting good pitches up the middle or where they were pitched. And so this lesson has a lot to do also with your head and your belly button. So if you recall in the last lesson, we talked about the swing being a two-part swing. Part one is how we get prepared to swing. And we can generate power when we get prepared to swing if our belly button and head goes forward into our foot landing. And you can see here that Chase Utley has generated some power because his belly button's gone forward. Now, in contrast, the difference with you is when you take your stride and you get into your landing position right there, you don't really create any power because your belly button doesn't really go forward a whole lot. Okay? But the other problem with not going forward a lot there is eventually you are going to have to go forward to get that bat going. And so what happens with you later on in your swing is you end up moving this head way too much because you don't make the right first move with your stride. So you'll see with Chase Utley, once his front foot lands, there's going to be very minimal movement with his head. His head is going to stay really still because in part two of the swing, when we actually swing, we want to keep our head in one place. So you'll see here when he plants his foot and actually begins to swing, that head stays in one spot. It doesn't move forward. All the way from when he gets prepared to swing, there's head movement. But once that front foot lands right here, that head stays in one spot all the way into contact. Now with you, what you're going to notice is when you actually go to swing in part two, there's a lot of head movement. You can see right there how far your head moves forward into contact. And the more your head is moving towards the ball when you're swinging, the less time you have to see the ball. And the more the ball is going to move on you. Okay, so one thing that we can do to be more consistent is have less movement with our head when we're actually swinging. We want to keep our head in one spot. And I'll be honest, a big reason why your head is moving so much is because when you take your positive move, when you get prepared to swing, your belly button isn't coming forward far enough. So you're not able to shift your weight and get to a good strong position. So we're going to have to work on getting our weight shifted and keeping our head still once we start the swing.